What is going on, guys? We are back with another rebuild on Madden 23, and today it is at the Tennessee Titans, who ended up having an interesting draft. I think some of the picks I really like, some of the picks I didn't necessarily like. The value for Levis, he's going to be the guy that gets talked about the most, obviously, was pretty good, but considering the roster talent, specifically at that wide receiver spot, was so bad, I honestly would have rather see them trade down and just accumulate more picks and get more wide receivers, get more talent. This team is far from competing, and obviously Levis is an older rookie, so it's questionable, but I suppose I don't hate the value. Once again, the Titans at this point, it seems like, even though Willis didn't really get a fair shake, because, no quarterback should be fairly graded for how they play in this Titans offense, I think they're already done with him. I really do. So there's that. I will say, though, Skronsky, solid pick. You need to build up that offensive line. A lot of people viewed him as the best offensive lineman in the league, but just not as a tackle because of the shorter arms. So we're going to move him at guard. I gave Jalen Duncan a star dev because if I'm not mistaken, he was like a 3 at worst 4th round kind of projected guy throughout the whole process and ended up going in the 6th. Played his whole career as a left tackle, so I just assume, even though it is the toughest position on the offensive line to play, that's where he would go. Dillard moving to right tackle. Of course, Okonkwo is going to be the starting tight end, with Josh Wiley being the backup. I know this team likes their tight ends, but maybe questionable. The value in the 5th round isn't bad, but once again, where's the wide receivers, man? I know they got a really athletic guy in the 7th round, who I will admit I didn't add because A, I couldn't be bothered, and B, he's a 24-year-old that's going to be like 62 overall at best. He's never going to start for me, so there's literally no point. But speaking of that running back, Tyjae Spears, Jesus, who the hell am I even talking about? A very good running back. Obviously, the whole no ACL thing is worrying, but obviously there's a lot of, for one, didn't look too bad for a guy without an ACL. 2, there's a lot of NFL players that have played with that situation and done well. It's obviously concerning, and especially with a team that needs so many different things. This is a pick that you would make if Derrick Henry was traded, which even then, I don't know if I would. But there's so many talented running backs in the draft class. I would have loved to see some trade downs. I'm not really sure. Without a 4th round pick, especially, and a team that is in one of the most rebuilding modes of the entire league, where were the trade downs? I need to accumulate some picks. I'll allow Skronsky. I'll even allow Levis, but I would have loved to see some trade downs in that 3rd and 5th round. There might have been some trade downs, speaking of, because it seems like, these picks are all over the place, but I wanted trade downs that were going to accumulate way more draft picks. I wanted to see a 4th round pick at least, and I didn't see that. So this is basically what the roster looks like as it stands. And while Arden Key does have potential, there's a lot of question marks for the front. There's a lot of question marks, obviously, at wide receiver. The offensive line is still question mark. I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's just so much to work on here. But it should be fun because of that. I like these teams that need a lot of work. Maybe the Titans are even my team for Madden next year. I know I've played as the Titans recently enough, but a lot of work needed to be done. An aging Derrick Henry, and then obviously a fun quarterback in Levis. I'll actually show you guys how I have most of these guys rated as well in a second. But Jalen Duncan we have as a star development trait player. Obviously a bit raw, not the most athletic guy in the world, but a solid left tackle, and the value is obviously there, so that's why I gave him star. Skronsky, you can maybe argue should have been only star, but like I said, most viewed him as the best lineman in the class, but set more as a guard than a tackle, which in that case is why he is very solid and a superstar. Spears obviously a very agile guy for his, I wouldn't say size to be fair, but, for his trucking-ish abilities. Just a good guy at breaking tackles. There's so many different moves he has, but just breaking tackles, simply put, that's all that matters. Okay in the receiving game, but a solid running back. Once again, I still would have loved to see them trade down. I don't know. I get the pick, but I also wish they would have traded down. And then Josh Wiley, I might have had him a little fast. He's pretty good, but I think there's a very low chance he ever becomes anything for us. He's already 23, normal. He's not going to start this season, so there's that. And then obviously Colton Dowell, who I didn't add, there's not much information on him, so I just didn't bother, other than the fact that he's a super athlete and he's pretty tall. And he's old. If he was like 21 or 22, I just throw some crap, make him fast, random ratings. 24 years old, there's no point. I'm sorry. And there's going to be somebody like, but don't point after draft class. It's like, yeah, but they're not going to do anything, so who cares? If you care, leave a like and subscribe. But speaking of, if you guys have been enjoying these real-life rebuilds, if you will. Also, speaking of Spears, he will be a star dev because he had a mentor rookie. Shocker, surprise, it's your birthday. But Spears is now a star development trade player, which we take. I mean, the game gave it to us. I'm not going to argue it. Wide receiver mentorship, please tell me this is someone young. Hey, I know you're hey, man, I'm an old guy that's not really that good either, but I know you're frustrated with this youngster that is thrust into the number 1 spot with a team that has no help around him. I know you're so mad. It's like, really? What is he supposed to do? He actually showed some promise last season, but what is he supposed to do? Obviously, A.J. Brown killed it with the Eagles, but they did get good comp for him, so I don't necessarily hate the trade even then, especially for a rebuilding team. The Eagles obviously had to pay a lot for him, contract-wise, so don't hate it. But speaking of Derrick Henry, if I see Derrick Henry go for anything less than a second-round pick, which if he's traded is very likely, I am going to call the Titans just garbage. I don't even care, dude. At this point, what does trading Henry for under a second even do for you? I don't even care if you're rebuilding. It's like, yeah, you're also developing a quarterback that needs all the help he can get, especially with no wide receivers. So, why? I'd rather run Henry into the ground and just get nothing for him than to trade him for absolutely nothing. Like, at least give the Titans fans something fun to watch. Also, we have injuries on. What the hell? Watch, it's gonna be Derrick Henry, broken life, running for the Titans his whole career, broken spine hole. He is crippled, isn't he? I just know it. Okay, Kevin Byard, we live with it. Not fun, but we actually probably prefer that because we want the highest pick possible. We do not want this team to do well. We've already gotten way more wins than I've expected. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what team you'd like to see next rebuild. Obviously, there's a lot of different teams like Bijan, Sanders. Where are these names coming? Who is Sanders? How many times do I keep saying Sanders? I said, what's his name? Tajee Sanders. Who is Sanders, bro? Who are you? But Bijan Robinson, the Steelers obviously had a sick draft. I know I said I wasn't going to do another Packers rebuild, but I might. They did draft a couple of, I wouldn't say franchise-changing players, but a lot of potential there, and there's a lot of fun on that offense, but I don't know yet. We'll see. It really comes down to what you guys want to see. I'll probably end up having more community polls for us to all strip on together, but you can vote on what team you want to see next. And as far as the relocation franchise goes, I actually haven't started recording yet. I have a lot of different ideas, like which jerseys I want, the stadium, how I want to do it, and all that. But as far as the draft timing, I think we'd probably be aiming for a Friday or a Saturday release. I know I said Monday, and I said like Saturday, like a week before and all that. But 100% this week. That's all I can tell you is 100% this week. Not sure what day, but probably aiming for the end of the week. There's just so many rebuilds and content that way. I still haven't even uploaded much Steelers franchise, and there's different, experiments I'd like to do with the class and just different experiments I thought of in general. Arden Key, please be good. But yeah, that's kind of the gist. Just catching you up on what's the plan. And of course, second channel, I don't know when I'm uploading this. Am I actually going to upload this on today? I don't know, but should have had, wow, if we're losing to the Texans like that, we are done. But yeah, I should have had Star Wars Jedi Survivor up. Performance is a little iffy. At least it's not as bad as like Steam, but that frame rate, dude, it's iffy. But I think we'll roll with it. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tar. It's probably poison. We're 1-7. I don't know what's they're feeding us in the cafeteria. Probably poison. We see what happened to the Dolphins trying to tamper for a better pick, and oh look, we win. Yeah, my boy Tart. But we win a game as soon as we call it out. Oh, 20K. Who is this guy? Jesus, what a freaking upgrade. That's got to be like 2 or 3 points. 3 points. We should be able to get Power Rusher up, so that'll be what they upgrade him on, I imagine, which is nice. Not a great upgrade in general. I know his scheme fits Run Stopper, but I want a damn Pass Rusher on this team. We can only use so many run stoppers or just bad players in general. We got to get somebody getting to the QB. Nice upgrades, actually. 84 power move at 25 star. he has just found himself a contract. Tart, only a 2-year 17. I'm actually kind of like, even though a breakout is super misleading because he could be having a terrible season, I'm down for a 4-year 40. He's a young player. We're rebuilding. He's solid. Tyjae Sanders is obviously going to be a long-term guy, so I don't know why the hell he is the contract thing still. We'll change that to a 4-year deal. It is also a little questionable that the Titans, obviously it seemed like a lot of the teams at the end of the first round were just not budging on trading down, but why didn't they get to the first round, get that 5th-year option, man? It's a quarterback. There's many players where it's like, yeah, you'd love to have a 5th-year option for all of the players, but a lot of positions where it's like, okay, whatever, dude. I already forgot who the hell that prospect guy was, by the way. But whatever, dude. But quarterback, yeah, it's too valuable not to. But then again, by the time that 5th-year option hits, he's going to be like 58 years old. So, and speaking of John here, I think since the Titans didn't go for a wide receiver anywhere near the earlier parts of the draft, they must have been huffing le glue. Also, of all the players I didn't show, why would Levis be the one I didn't? Start of the element trade, of course. What are those shoulders? He looks like freaking Kanye West in the what music video was that? It was like the meme music video. Like I literally am like singing it in my head, and I just can't think of what the hell it's called. Oh, the lyrics are literally the name of the song. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, looks pretty good. Obviously, his ratings probably went up 1 because he's had 1 upgrade point, but accuracy is a little iffy. Throw power is great. Accuracy in general is just iffy. That's all I can say. But he's an athlete. All right, playoffs, and let me tell you, put Will Levis in for the final 3 weeks. Did not win that one, but the other 2 weeks they won. And another weird one is the Texans put up 48 on us, and then we put up 48 on them. So I don't know what kind of boosting agreement we have going on here, but I love it. Gotta love that end of the season trench boost. Ooh, love it. Love it, love it. Agile and pass protector. 73 overall, Jalen Duncan. We don't like it. We love it. That was a hell of a recovery right there, let me tell you what. Of course, Peter Skoronski, he's just built. He's a beast already. He's the best lineman we have, without a doubt, obviously. All right, so obviously there is a benefit to sucking. Hey, no matter what realm that's in, that's, I guess, something. But didn't force any losses. I would have loved to lose every game, get first pick overall, trade that down to like 6, grab a wide receiver, get that first-round pick next year, just keep pushing that away. But Levis killed it. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 910 yards. Should have started the whole season, basically. But 71% completion percentage, he killed it. Obviously, Derrick Henry was amazing as expected. Spears was an awful backup. Chris Moore shouldn't have started, but played. Kyle Phillips, and I suppose he didn't start. He just played the best after, reception. Okonkwo is okay. The yards are a little low for my liking, but it is what it is. Spears, such a waste, though. I wish he would have been a little bit better of a backup. Because you obviously, no matter what, assume him to play a lot. Jalen Duncan, well, maybe not a lot, but he should get rotations. Duncan was pretty bad, to be honest, but it is what it is. He's a left tackle, starting for a bad offense for a pass attack. Outside, Harold was okay. Simmons was okay. Tart was not great. And then where the hell was Arden? Did he play? 502 snaps, so he didn't play as much. I don't know if that's just like scheme-based, but I don't see any other outside linebackers playing, so that's weird, to be fair. Kicking, who is that? Who is that? I don't know, but not bad. And then obviously Ryan Stonehouse, pretty bad season for him, actually. Weird kick return. Like, can we just like stop? I want people to know their role, man. Stop throwing everyone around here. Tua was the MVP. We would love that for him, but he's 8-9, so you argue, was he really MVP? Any awards? Where was... I would have thought Levis, just because of the ratio, would have been up there, but sadly not. Rookie of the Year on defense. Who the hell do we even have? Was Levis on the list just because the touchdown to pick ratio? I would have thought, just because, but I guess not. Henry at 4. It just wasn't a great season. Like, you wouldn't have expected much, right? You just wouldn't have. The DBs didn't even do anything. It was like a Henry, the glimpse of Levis, and I guess Harold Landry. Like, it was a basically wasted season, and we ended up with a 6-11 record, which ain't even going to give us that great of a draft pick, like maybe top 7, but we are top 3 caliber, which is not something to be proud of, but at this point I would have taken it. Bills versus Eagles, we don't hate that projection, kind of expected. Don't know if it's going to happen, we'll see, and wow, that would be a very fun Super Bowl to watch. Levis, a superstar, just kidding, you didn't get a superstar. How old is Burks now, 24? He's about to be 24. I mean, it's a terrible release, which makes no sense for his body type, but EA gon' EA. What else do we have? O-line, some upgrades, but it's a rough roster. No dev up for Monty Rice kills me inside. I think I would assume Byard would have been superstar already, right? I would imagine, but you never know with the safeties go up and down all the time with dev, and then Hooker. A lot of sims I've seen him just go to superstar for some reason, so we'll take it. Also, not a bad ability, flat zone KO. But yeah, Hooker went up in dev, which was nice. A couple of the offensive linemen, their ratings went up, but other than that, this was basically just a useless season. Let's take a look. We have 81 mil. We obviously have a lot of needs. Don't want to spend too much, though. This reminds me. I've got to make those damn quarterbacks stay on their team. Jalen Hurts, Herbert. I don't know if Burrow's one of those guys right now. There's got to be someone else. Tua. We've got an opportunity here not to sell, and we've got to take it. Terrence Steele with that tender he had a year ago, it kind of makes me think, like he had the restricted tag, didn't he? So kind of makes me think he's worth it, but at the same time, kind of makes me think, why would they get rid of him? We need linemen, but I don't know if we actually need tackle per se. Dillard's, decent, but not really long-term. And then Mutai, not really great. He's just a strong star dev player. I think we should just go for rookies. Wide receiver would be nice, but this is... Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hyatt obviously isn't going to be a free agent, and if he would be, that means he sucks, so there's no point in going for him. We're going to have to boost our receiving group through the draft, sadly. We ended up getting Zach Cunningham, who it actually did dawn on me that I was like, where actually was he? Where he was supposed to be here, right? I was like, wait, didn't he play for the Titans? It's like, he's actually supposed to be there for this last season we just did. Not that it matters, but... and then we also get Van Jefferson on a 1-year 6, which we don't mind. All right, so we have pick 5. There was a solid-looking wide receiver, but got him scouted more, and he doesn't have the best potential. So I don't know if I'm going to take him if he's there. I'm going to slow sim just to see it. It's more dramatic this way, and he is still there. But do I want him, especially at pick 5? And the reason why I don't know if I want him anymore, even though I was so certain I did, is because he's a 2 to 3 grade. He's 6'4", which fits the mold of what Tennessee likes. He's decently athletic. His jump ball is pretty good. Obviously, a 4.43 is pretty good, but more importantly, great speed, good acceleration, which would probably mean like 92, 93 speed, which at 6'4" is really good. Who else did we have? We had Nick Bruce scouted further. Doesn't look bad. He's not quite the type they like, but with that speed, elite speed, 4.24. He looks really good too, and I don't have to take him at 5. If I trade down here, I might be able to get a corner as well, which there was a couple of decent-looking ones. Where are they? I would like... What? Oh, I'm sitting at West. Where the hell is everybody? I would like Alford. He's got a 1 to 2. Also, though, Sidney Green is also a top 5. The problem is he is 5'10", I believe, so... I think this would be a situation where you love both of them, and whoever's there is there. So you just, wait until one of them's left, and you cook there. I think this is a trade down. I think this is a trade down to like 20, maybe like 18. Because 1 to 2 grade could literally go up to 15. But I'd be confident with the amount of players that are there at like 18. And Green Bay's kind of giving me that. I might use that first round next year to trade up for this season. We'll see. What is Green Bay going to take? It's going to be the solid linebacker who, once again, did look really good. It's just we have so many needs. I think you trade down. I think pick 5 is way too high unless there is that truly elite wide receiver, which unless Hearns is really good dev, the 2 to 3 grade is just, he's not him. And all the wide receivers are still there, so I don't know what to think about that, but even Hearns is still there. Okay, so now I really don't regret passing on him. I'm still not going to take him, I think. I think because he's still here, ironically enough, is why I don't want him now. Nick Bruce with that speed, I think is worth it. We're going to try to get him. And I did expect normal. Did not expect 99 speed, 99.7 excel, though. Wow, he is an athlete. And he's 6'1". He is really good. Oh, Green might have been really good, actually. He went before Alfred. Obviously, these guys could be like 1, 2, 1A, 1B. I was actually kind of falling in love with Alfred a little bit there because of the grade, but obviously, not Alfred, Green. Alfred's a great player too, though. 6'2", 21 years old. We're hoping for hidden development trait, but I'm going to be honest with you, this feels like a normal, and he's not. Okay, we'll take that. 92 speed, 93 excel, 88 jumping. Kind of cornerback 1, honestly, like even over Farley, debatably. So we traded 2 and a 4 next year to the Colts for 57. I'm keeping that first round from the Packers for next year as I'm cooking something up, and I'm hoping it works out. But this pick is going to be the remaining of the 2 DTs, Mr. Devin McDonald. I liked Morris a little bit more, but the A finesse from McDonald's great, super athletic, and hidden development trait. So we take that. That's a win. Another starter out the gate. Wish the wide receiver was hidden development trait like the corner and the DT, but, it's still a win. We're with the Browns to get mid, 3rd, and 4th round picks for our high. Oh, what the hell did I do? Was that 77 the next year? It is what it is. I'm going to move down until one of my linemen goes. I have a center that looks really good. He will be the first to go, but just to be, in case, I'm going to move until he's gone and then trade up for these day 4s, which, they look pretty good too. And we're going to trade a 3rd next year with Radons. I don't know his name, to be honest. I apologize. We're hoping the linemen we're going for, because we're going to be going for 2 of them, assuming one is also there at 6. Hoping they're hidden, which would automatically make them more valuable than the guy we just traded. I made a play. I am going for Mr. Dan Coleman, 22 years old, hidden. Nice. Already worth it. Simply put, already worth it. And they're both there. I do want Wofford more because he's a little bit of a different style player. He's a little bit bigger. Not the strongest, but we've been taking those types of players anyways. A bunch of A's and also hidden. That's a win. Is that the whole offensive line now? Technically, we could use a right tackle, but I think that's the whole offensive line. And we're going to go with another speedster, Sherrod Hitchens, another 97-plus speed wide receiver. Everything else is a little iffy, but really good speed. That's all that matters. And here we go. Some pretty good overalls here. We grabbed a fullback. He's the only guy that wasn't 70-plus. 75 overall for Nick Bruce, who's the automatic number 2. Highest potential player on this team at wide receiver, at least, by a mile. It's really not even close. So fast. Great release, even. Medium route running's a little iffy, but everything else is very solid. That's a win of a pick. And then 74 overall corner, we obviously have to compare him to Green, but no matter how it works, we're always going to be taking the remainder of the 2. So, whoever went in front of our guy is, it was theirs. We were automatically taking the second of the 2, like we said. Dev is, superstar development trade. Who cares? Even if Green's an X factor, I don't give a damn. McDonald, I believe, is our new left end, if I'm not mistaken, so we're going to be playing him there. And I'm not done yet, technically. Don't worry about it. I've got other plans here. I've got other plans. Oh, let's take a look at the dev star development trade. We'll have to take a look at Morris, but once again, another situation where we were going to take the remainder of the 2. Didn't matter who was there. Pass block power, so bad power blocker, basically, which I guess as a center, you're not usually the biggest guy anyways. I guess we'll live with it. Superstar lineman, we'll definitely live with it. Nice. I almost just let him go, too. He was the 3 to 4 guy where it was like, as soon as he's gone, I'm going to take whoever. Wow, he is terrible at run blocking. Glad that you were drafted the Titans. This would be a huge head scratcher in real life. Please be good, Dev. Also superstar, though. Okay. We take that. 71 overall for the wide receiver. He'll probably be the number 3 already, to be honest. Where number 35 is disgusting. But we'll change his number, fix him up, and take a look at the 2 players we could have had. Actually, 3. I want to look at Hearns as well. Hearns is interesting to me. Wow, we have nothing. I can see why he was wearing. We'll have to fix that. But let's take a look at the wide receiver that we were going to go for, Hearns. He's still there. Hearns went at 25, 71 overall. Was hidden, 6'4", great release, solid catching, very fast, like we said. Okay, I'm not really sure why he was a 2 to 3 grade. I really don't understand. I really don't understand, dude. Oh my, this isn't like other positions like DT where, DevOps aren't that hard to get. Wide receiver DevOps are very hard to get, especially in breakouts. EA just sold us. Oh my. Green, of course, in development trade, 76 overall. A little bit on the smaller side, but super athletic. He's got to be at least superstar to be as good as our guy, which he is not. So we've obviously made the better choice there, not that we even had the choice. And then looking at DTs, Mr. Morris, I believe, was the last player also hit in development trade. Massive, massive player. I would have loved to have him on this team, but our DT looks pretty good too, and also star. So, I mean, other than Hearns, which, would have been a perfect fit for this team, it was a pretty good draft. I told you I wasn't done cooking. First round and a third round pick with Tannehill for Chase Young. All right, Season 2 roster. Still, some things left to be desired. Maybe replace the right tackle, but other than that, I like the offensive line. Tight end could maybe be replaced. We'll see how Okonkwo plays. Wide receivers, Bruce has the biggest ceiling in the world, while Burks, debatably, only has maybe a season left to really prove that he's the number one guy. As his, progression kind of ceiling is, as these seasons go on, without getting to star plus, without having good seasons, it drops, obviously. Henry's still great. Levis had a pretty good, 3 games. Hopefully he can build on that as a full starter. The inside linebackers aren't great, but they're savvy vets. Definitely need to replace, somebody there. Corners are young, and they have potential, especially with the cornerback 1 being a superstar. Chase Young, the huge edge addition, making this defense kind of feared. I don't know. I feel like this pass rush, if Chase Young plays even anywhere near where we were hoping he does, would definitely be super underrated. All right, so we did pay a lot to get Chase Young, which means we're going to be paying a lot to keep him. A 6-year, 126. I'm so sick of seeing that. I am so sick of it. Derrick Henry wants a 4-year deal. In real life, that would be questionable. In game, absolutely. So it is what it is. We keep him around. Simmons had that contract in real life. I didn't edit it because, well, I forgot. Okay, but we're just gonna give him a contract here, and apparently we need to offer him more because he also made a lot more than that in real life as well. Fulton's not a bad number 3, and at 24 years old, I might actually pay that if it's somewhere close. I mean, that's good money. Like that's fair money if he takes like a 5-year 28. Or something, 5-year 27.5. Hey, I'm cool with that. That's not bad. It's an okay season, but not great. We did win at the end, but 8-9 in a division where the top teams were 9-8. So there was a chance there. Middle of the pack, I suppose. Will Levis was pretty good. 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 45-74 anyways. Pretty good, right? Derrick Henry, though, changed the scheme up a little bit to be a little more pass heavy. He took a hit. He obviously took a hit. Bruce was solid. Okonkwo was really good. Van Jefferson was pretty good. And then Burks was just awful, despite the fact that he was the number 1 wide receiver. Duncan is getting worse. I don't know how that's even possible. Sack totals, glad that we paid all that money and those picks for Chase Young. 8 sacks, 8 for Landry. I really just think if you're in a 3-4, you have no chance to win anything. Because the 3-4 defense is just terrible in game. They give you no sacks. You had to be a 99 overall to get even 15. Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the league. Any award wins for us? The wide receiver of the year or offensive rookie of the year with Nick Bruce, who is he on the list? Not on the list for wide receiver at all. Okay, well at least you got something. And no other award wins. Cowboys versus, of course, our division rivals, the Indianapolis Colts. And the winner is the Colts with a 32-0 victory. Wow. Okay, I'm sure, I guess. Looking at our DevOps, did we have any? Bruce, of course, doesn't really surprise me. Burks, though. 80 overall, disappointing. He's really disappointing me. Everyone else, Okonkwo went up in dev. Kind of expected it. 3 superstar interior linemen. And then looking at the defense... Any DevOps here? No, sadly. So no DevOps there, but still, they are very good players. And for our re-signings, we did end up getting all the players we wanted. I think Chase Young was sadly a 6-year 132. And then I think Simmons was a 4-year 105, which I think in real life that's actually kind of low considering what he actually signed for, but several years down the line anyway, so who cares? Van Jefferson will be let go, even though he had a really good season. It's just his ceiling there's just not one. There's just not one. And then I think Dillard's going to be gone as well, and Arden Key was never great for us. Very interested in re-signing, but not even as a backup. I don't think it's worth it. All right, all the money in the world. What do we want to spend on? Of course, I did fix all the quarterbacks, so, well, didn't fix Anthony Richardson. Okay, Colts just won a Super Bowl, didn't re-sign him. That's just stupidity, though. Like for one, he doesn't go up in dev, and then two, a 4-year $80 for a guy that just, won you a Super Bowl, and you didn't want it? Okay, speaking of, Pittman is a free agent. He'd be a pretty good fit for this team. I think we really should sign a free agent wide receiver here. I just think Burks clearly in game is just not going to work out. So I'd like to get one of these bigger wide receivers that can do well and fit the scheme. So I really don't mind Gabe Davis here. I think I'm going to pay Gabe Davis. Had him a couple of times. He's never really developed that well for me, but Gabe Davis, a 4-year 76 to be our true number one. Jalen Duncan's been playing like crap, and Mekhi Becton here would make for a 4th superstar to development trade lineman, but I don't think I'm going to do it. He's actually really good outside of pass block finesse, which is definitely interesting. How many sacks did he allow? It's not a lot. I might still go for him. 13 is a lot. So it's like basically Jalen Duncan anyways. What's the point? And then I think we need a right tackle, but we could probably just draft one, to be honest. So unless we sign one of these left tackles to be right tackle, I think we're going to leave linemen alone. I wouldn't hate Mekhi Becton, though. I want to see how much it costs to get him. A 3-year 51 puts us in the conversation. I'm down to be in the conversation. And we do not get Mekhi Becton, but we do get Kenneth Murray, who is a 3-year 15 super steal, and then Gabe Davis for a 4-year 76, which I do not mind either. Trying to get Arden Key here, which, he's just a backup, so I'm not really going to be paying him that much. A 2-year 7 is what I think the offer is. And then I think we will have to draft a right tackle. But I'm cool with that. I think we did an okay job here. Dillard's still there. I kind of want to... How many sacks did he even allow? He actually has played really well, though, hasn't he? Yeah, I mean, those are, for Madden numbers, not terrible. I mean, if he wants to join back on a 2-year 12, I mean, I'm down, I suppose. We need the damn tackle. And it's not easy to draft linemen to start and, develop. It appears we got him back, and Arden Key's being difficult, but he's a backup anyway, so I'm not going to hold my breath. We are going to be doing the unthinkable, for me at least. We're going to be taking a lineman at pick 13. This guy, Aaron Sheets, who is from Wisconsin and is 6'7", maybe a 1-2, but I've seen 1-2s go all the way up to 15, even before then. And with an A awareness, A impact, B pass block, B run block, solid strength, decent athleticism, I think he's worth the pick. If he's not hidden, I never, and I mean it, take an offensive lineman in the first round again, unless they're all A across the board on key ratings. And they're safe. First round linemen are safe for now. Aaron Sheets, 90 strength. We'll see how good he actually is. But we take that. That's a good pick. I'm having a hard time here in the 3rd round, as I think tight end's a good position here. A run block, A catch in traffic, 6'5", 266. Pretty damn good athleticism with great speed, elite strength, all that stuff. Good jumping. But it's technically not a need. Guard's also technically not a need, but at least it's future-proofing. And once again, our current left tackle is kind of bad, so if this guy has versatility, maybe he plays. I'm going to go Rudy Stanley because of that. I regret it. And I'm going to be trading Roger McCreary off for 98, as he's not bad, but his development has reached its end with us, and the Niners get themselves a pretty damn solid corner who I think will actually be a starter for them. With this pick, we're going to be taking the linebacker Jermaine French, 6'2", 22 years old, of course, athletic. Of course, normal dev. Oh, my Lord. Especially with us taking the position of lineman at 13. This is, unless that lineman's a superstar, one of the worst draft classes I've ever had. It's not even close. But, in defense, we did a pretty good job so far before this season, and with no quarterback, Colts are interesting. I'm going to go Washington, though. Our roster is actually pretty damn good. Right tackle was really that glaring need. Right now, there's not much more we need. We're going to take another speed demon in Mr. Leon Holiday. 95 speed is considered a speed demon. I don't care what anyone says. We're going to take a backup quarterback. I don't know how good he is. I just looked at the key ratings and looks decent. 90 throw power. Fair enough. That's going to be it for the draft. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of what we've done. I want to see what that tight end looks like, but even if he's hidden, unless he's a superstar plus, even that wouldn't have really made it much better of a draft. Just no second-round pick, no real needs, and just kind of took a tackle who is a 75 overall. Guard's an okay overall, but obviously normal dev. Same with linebacker, normal dev. Wide receiver, I don't care. He's a wide receiver. We don't even need wide receivers at this point. Aaron Sheets, actually pretty solid. Let's take a look at that dev is. Please be a superstar. If he's a superstar, we're saved. If he's not, he's still a good pick, but he's obviously nowhere near as good. And star dev, okay. Let's take a look at that wide receiver. It was a pretty, or tight end. Why? This class was not the best. Was that the guy, Dent? No, Baker, definitely Baker. He is, of course, hidden. And he's also, of course, faster than I would have expected. I would have thought like 84 speed, which would have been good enough, but 86. Nice. Star development trait, so we dodged a little bit of a bullet, but yeah, much better than the guard we just took. I honestly thought that the guard we took was going to be hidden and the tight end was going to be normal, which is why I was like, yeah, screw that. I can't make the argument of starting a normal dev tight end over a Okonkwo. But, with the age there, maybe. But Okonkwo did have a really good year, so I guess I don't mind. Here we go, Season 3 roster, 84 overall now, not looking bad at all. 3 superstar linemen, a right tackle that looks great, and then Duncan, who worries me, to be honest. Wide receivers are getting better, especially with Gabe Davis joining the squad, and Levis, who's probably already 25, only a 76 overall star, but still got potential, I guess. And then defensively, don't really have much depth for the interior, but those guys are perfectly fine. Murray's the new middle linebacker. Could definitely use a new number 2. And then Byard, depending on his age going forward, his regression. I mean, there's not really many players we need. Our positions are pretty much set now. Hey, 10k XP plus the +3 to finesse and power move. So 90 mil, Byard. I would probably do a 2-year under these circumstances, but anything more I wouldn't. Fair enough. That was still pretty costly, to be fair. I want Caleb Farley. I want the punter, and I think everyone else I'm okay with letting go. If we win, we might be in. We're 8-8 at the moment. And we are not in. But we go over 500, which is, I suppose, a win in that sense. Will Levis might not be the guy. I've got Atlanta's playbook on, and he can't get it done in the pass game. Burks was better. Okonkwo was pretty good. Bruce was pretty bad, and Gabe Davis was awful considering his talent level and how much he's being paid. Duncan's out of here. He sucks. I don't know what it is. He's just awful. So we'll need a new left tackle. Pass rush. Bro, they have got to fit. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Recently, somebody commented saying you play this game quite a bit and you know it's bad, and you complain about it. I'm sorry. The game's okay. It's an okay game, actually. It's actually, we got 2 really good edge rushers, and we can't combine for even close to 10. It's okay. It's, you know what? It's just the way it goes. Caleb Farley with 7 interceptions. Chase McLaughlin gave him like a 5-year 17. He was worth it. And then Stonehouse got a 5-year 17. Actually, Chase McLaughlin was like a 3-year 12. I'm thinking of Stonehouse there. Any award wins at all? None. Okay, well, at least Farley should be a superstar. Don't know if we would have had anything else, though. Giants versus the Bengals. We actually beat the Bengals. They were 12-1, and we beat them yet. Couldn't make the playoffs. And the Giants win the Super Bowl. Okay. All right, DevOps offense. Maybe Burks. No one else, though. And not even Burks. Sweet. And then defensively, some DevOps, actually. Hooker's an X Factor. The rookie corner who was a superstar is now an X Factor. We take that. Obviously, Caleb Farley, we went up in dev. We didn't, we expected that. Gave him like a 5-year 32. So the DBs are set. Byard, we'll see. We gave him a 2-year 34, but, I'm pretty much locked in with him anyways. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. We've got the defense. We need maybe a new middle linebacker. Edge rush, that's just the way the game is. 3-4 defenses do nothing in Sim. All right, I'm not really sure what we would spend in free agency or who we would spend it on. Linebacker, probably. Jalen Phillips isn't the linebacker we're looking for, though. Rapp, I mean, he's not really that good of a safety. Quinn Miners is a superstar dev. Oh, yeah, lineman, actually. A left tackle, if we could. Not happening there. Quinn Miners really isn't a tackle. And it looks like that's not happening. So, yeah, I mean, there's really not much to do about anything here, as all the positions we need aren't here in free agency, sadly. So, was that Chris Barnes with superstar? So there's not really much I can do. I guess we just draft a new left tackle and hope for the best. It's really all we can do. So saving more free agency money. Also, Will Levis really isn't him. Not that I can do really much about it, though. So there's that as well. This is kind of sadly creeping over to... actually, I should have taken a look at tight end because Okonkwo isn't like locked in for the future. He's decent, but he's not locked in. There's like a young, decent dev tight end. Not going to happen anyways. But yeah, Levis is not looking great, but I'm not really sure what I could do with a 9-8 team. Basically every single season, not getting decent draft picks. So I don't know. We're just in a spot. All right, so quarterback is useless. There's no point in looking at that position. I'm not even sure I have anyone in general around here. Ooh, I got to scout this guy more. He's around 1. We need a left tackle because Jalen Duncan has been pretty garbage. I think that's who we're probably going to go for. A lot of our guys are 2 to 3s, and he obviously looks pretty guaranteed. Although last time I had a player that was guaranteed, they were normal. See, the problem here is I hate when teams give me like the Browns trade here. That's not bad. I'm going to take that actually. But when teams are like, oh, here's 35 this year and then 36 next year. It's like, yeah, like I expect you to be 36 next year. Liars. But we have pick 18, so we have 10 here. And then if Levis isn't the guy, I suppose we actually have... oh, crap, I forgot about my safety. He's still here, and he ended up with a B zone. We need a replacement for Byard soon. This guy looks great. I think we take the tackle and then that safety, to be honest. You also have Jelani Glenn, though. A little bit older, I think. We just looked at the other guy and I already forgot if he was 21 or not. I'm such an idiot. But, yeah, I might wait for one of them rather than taking a reach on, whoever. Or not really a reach, but you know what I mean. Taking the first plunge. But Rob Campbell, I actually didn't expect to be taking tackle here, but he had a round 1. I just wanted to see a little bit more about him. I'm taking him. And he is hit in development trade, so we have ourselves a new tackle. And while Duncan hasn't played well, technically, if he's a decent overall, he's probably worth a third-round pick, right? We get all these random players plus the third round. I don't really care. I'll probably end up releasing them anyways. Trade a 50 and a 5th this with a 6 next for 45, which we'll be using to grab Manning. Alonzo Manning's going to be the choice, 21 years old. Sadly normal. Also less athletic than I thought. I would have thought probably about 90. We're not going to be taking a linebacker, Mitchell Jenkins. Not the fastest in the world, but with A zone coverage, he is the best of the bunch, I think. So we're hoping for the best, and he is hitting. We love it. And you know what? This guy's a little strange. Tyrese Irvin, he has F in deep route, F in release, but an A catch, B catch in traffic, and then weirdly enough, elite change of direction, elite agility, elite excel. I mean, this is kind of a weird player, dude. He's kind of like JSN almost. I think I'm going to go for him. And he is hidden. Yeah, he's strange. We may have just landed like a weird generational type player, like, or maybe not generational, but like I don't even know what you would call it, but a specialized player, like the 390 or the 380 DTs. Those guys aren't usually very good, so that could be the case here as well. But still, I'm also interested here in George Dawson. Do I want to do this? I like Cam McCree as well. Didn't get any linemen. I think Westerman's better of the 2 running backs, though, but Dawson's faster. What else? He's 3.4, 3.8. So good speed versus Westerman's... What is it? Solid. Yeah, good is better than solid. We don't really need running back technically, but Spears is going to need a contract. We're going to go George Dawson, who is hidden. Nice pick. I like McCree, but I also like Booth. He's 22 years old, 6'3", decent athleticism with a great speed. So we're going to grab Mr. Tremaine Booth for depth at the edge spot. 84 speed's okay. And I might, if we have another pick here, I'm going to trade up to 11 and grab McCree and basically call it a draft. I don't hate what we've done here. I think we did pretty well. And Mr. Gamertag, 21 years old, 5'10", pretty athletic. Welcome to the squad. Another normal development trait safety, but we are set at safety now. We go with a kicker, even though we don't need him. He's a late 7th round pick, so who cares? 95 kick power, that's a win. Let's take a look at this draft that we had for ourselves. Holy! Okay, so the safety is really good, but 78 overall wide receiver. Yeah, we weren't wrong. Oh, he's like a specialized player. Very elusive, obviously. Juke move and spin move was decent for a rookie. 88 short route. You know, crazy speed and all that. 85 catching. He is interesting. Well, Treylon Burks just lost his job. We're going to trade him off for a 3rd round pick, I think. I think he's still probably worth that. 88 looks pretty cool. What's his dev? Ooh! That's a fun, cool little player. Okay, 75 overall left tackle. He's a starter. We already traded off Duncan, so we already knew that. Could he be a superstar? That would make for 4 superstar linemen, maybe the most I've ever had in a realistic style rebuild. And he will not add to that list. Obviously, still pretty good. Middle linebacker, I don't think he'll start. We still have Cunningham, right? So, yeah, he probably won't start, but still, for the future, we've got the position. We did a pretty good job this draft. We really needed it because last draft was pretty bad, to be honest. Dev, star, obviously the wide receiver is superstar, which is cool. Let's take a look at Manning. You know, he's probably the future at the free safety position. Kind of built similar, 80 zone, very similar to Kevin Byard, actually, which is really absurd considering that's who he would be replacing, you know, soon enough. Fair enough, not bad. What else do we have? We have the running back. I guess we'll take a look at the dev because he is probably the most likely to replace, most likely to replace Henry if anyone's going to anytime soon. He looks pretty good. Number 33, I guess we'll allow it. And star dev, I kind of thought he was going to be better than that. I want to say Westerman, though, because Westerman actually did look technically better. Free safety's only 68 overall. Who cares? And then Booth, not bad, actually. You could definitely work with that. Westerman was also actually the same round running back, also hidden, and also the better replacement for Derrick Henry. Wow, yeah, he was better than the guy we took. What's his dev? Star dev only, but yeah, he was better, especially considering we're the Titans, and yeah, I mean, he's like not quite Derrick Henry, but as far as like a year 1 Derrick Henry goes, about as close as you can get, dude. He's insane. And Treylon Burks of the Buccaneers for 78. 77 overall, and I would imagine he's about 26 by now. Gabe Davis, the number 1, did not play that well. Bruce was decent, and then obviously Irvin is a nice little interesting slot-type wide receiver that we just drafted. O-line is really good, and potential is really good there. Running back Derrick Henry has got to be getting close to retirement. He's like 32 by now. Oh, he's 31! What are we worried about? We didn't do some stupid trading of Derrick Henry or anything. We're fine. Really, what would you look at for the future? Jenkins, probably middle linebacker number 2. I mean, we're set. We're good. What are we worried about? We're done. Other than, honestly, QB, crazy enough, we're basically locked in with the guys we have, and they're all pretty damn good. Having a pretty damn good season here, so maybe it's our year. I don't know. Skronsky, is this actually the year he would need a contract? I don't really care either way. We're going to have to pay him a fortune no matter what. So, 7-year 100 pretty much. 7-year 98. That's a great contract for us. We love that. Amani Hooker, X Factor. I think he deserves the contract. If he wasn't an X Factor, maybe you argue it, but as an X Factor, you have to. Look at these contracts. The boys are back. Even if Okonkwo is a guy we replace, which I don't know if we even have to, a 3-year 21 is totally fine. So even if as a backup, we'd live with it. Tajay Sanders, I don't think we need, but I do like him. He's still young. We did just draft a running back, but I don't hate a 4-year 14. Ugh. Not much more. Not much more. I'm going to let him go. Levis, I'll have to take a look at how he's playing, but that's not a bad contract, obviously. Bit of a choke job on the season, and we do get the bye week still. Definitely a choke job, though. We were like 10-1. Still a really good finish, obviously, but didn't technically, it's a good finish, as in the season was a good year, but as far as the, this kind of losing streak goes, not the best. Obviously, these are pretty successful teams. However, the Chiefs actually 6-8 at the time. So did we kind of like let them back in the playoffs? I wonder. Let's actually take a look. Did they get in because they, had a little bit of a run? And they did not, so I don't really care. But could this be the year? I don't know. We'll see. Levis, definitely his best season. I changed the scheme up again. Derrick Henry, pretty good. Obviously, Levis got a 3-year 58 from us, so glad to do it. Okonkwo, great stuff. Davis, better for sure. Maybe even superstar Dev. Bruce, solid, and then Irving, not great, but, made his chances count, I guess, if you will. Definitely a better season at the left tackle spot than when Duncan was here. Pass rush, so much better. I think I changed to the Chargers defense, so there's that. Kicking was pretty damn good. Punting was pretty good. So, a better year by far. Obviously, win-loss, and then statistically, where was Will Levis? He should have been at least top 10. Really? Not top 10. Okay. Rookie of the year for Irving. Okay, I'm not really sure how that makes any sense. And no other award wins, but we're in the playoffs. And we have a bye week, which means we only need to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. And there's no Chiefs in the AFC. The Steelers are, a decent team. We're only an idiot overall, in fairness. But, okay. This is definitely feasible. Alrighty, going out of the game. 7-0. The Steelers doing pretty good. Uh-oh. Holy. 21-0, 21-7. Nice little turnaround. Defense is not playing well. Huge drive before half, though. And we're only down by 7. It's a tie game. Holy crap, the relentlessness. Oh, no. There's no way. There's no way we're going to win. They get it. And they get the walk-off. Chase Claypool is back with the Steelers. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Wow. Talk about turning it around. We kind of choked here. If you get the touchdown, you got to go for 2, I think. 3rd and 12. I'm coming in now. I don't even think I actually, if I remember correctly, did I even use Hendon Hooker, any of them, on in the other rebuild? I don't think I did. To the tight end. Okonkwo delivering the throw right as he's being hit is Will Levis. And you got to go for it all. You have to. I can see why they... Ooh, do you give it to Derrick Henry? They're baiting this out. I'm double-teaming Hayward. 3 superstars inside. Derrick Henry's got to get this. Easy money! And we're headed to the championship round. A bit of a choke job in the late portion of the 4th into overtime, but one hell of a relentlessness play from the team that was down 21-0. Got to give it up to this team. Wow. That was actually absurd. Will Levis and Kenny Pickett, I almost called him Penny Kickett, which, that's a different activity, I guess. They killed it. They absolutely killed it. What was the completion percentage? Why? Am I missing something here? The yards are up there, but, flawed rating system by, a lot. Our yards per average. Okay, so Kenny Pickett really showing off that lack of arm strength, if you will. Henry killed it. We love it. Wow, 16 tackles for the linebacker, huh? Okay. Chase McLaughlin. We didn't even need to go to overtime, you bum. And he's so good, too. Actually, I wanted to go take a look again. What was the, scoring like? We must have killed it in the 2nd and 3rd quarter, right? Look at this score. So we put up 28 points in the 2nd and 3rd, nothing in the 1st, 10 in the 4th, and then that overtime plus 2, the 2-point conversion, barely pulling out the dub in that one. That was crazy. The Steelers giving us a run for our money. Who is this going to be? The Bengals. We beat them, before. They're lower overall than us, but that is still an elite offense. Let's see what happens. Winner is in the Super Bowl. Nice start for this team. 7-0, 10-0. Defense, come on. Not bad. Come on, offense. Defense is giving you a golden opportunity here. 17-3. 20-3. Continue it up, defense. Offense isn't doing the best, but it's doing enough. Up by 14. And this defense, they gave up a touchdown at the end. Went off. They needed to, as our offense was pretty mediocre. And they did. They went off. Both quarterbacks were not great, to be fair. Henry did his thing, obviously. And then defensively, what do we have? 2 for Chase Young, 1.5 for Simmons. One for McDonald. We like it. We like it. And there's that. And it's the Giants, who I believe either already won a Super Bowl or have at least been to the Super Bowl. They're a higher overall than us. This does not bode well. Will Levis, not a superstar, but he is an 81 overall. No one else went up in dev on offense. And then defensively, don't think anyone went up dev. So we had a really good year, but nobody went up in dev. That is really strange, but let's see if we can win a Super Bowl here against the New York Giants. Now, year 4 has been kind of our magic number. Godwin, oh, they signed him. He's a weapon. All right, left to right is them. We get 7. Still 7-0. This is a bit of a low-scoring Super Bowl here. And it'll finish 7-0 at the half. 10-7 now to start the second half. A little bit more scoring in this one. And that touchdown should do it, I think. Another year. Ooh, barely. Another year 4 Super Bowl win. Obviously, 4 years is a lot, but still, to win another Super Bowl in one of these rebuilds, especially with a team that like the Titans that, not the greatest starting roster, not bad. That Chase Young trade looked really dumb early on, but had a really good season this year, so we don't hate it, I suppose. And who the hell is the quarterback? Is that the quarterback? Is that Daniel Jones? Who the hell is that? Either way, Will Levis is a Super Bowl champion. Was kind of quiet in this one, in this rebuild, Like he's pretty tame stats. This was a really good season for him, though. Obviously, a little surprised to see he didn't go up in dev, but must have been just like right on the edge of going to Superstar. Had many breakout attempts. I think it was 4 to 5 QB breakout attempts. Didn't land a single one. I don't know how close they were because I just care if you get it or not. I don't really care how it happened or how close it happened to be. But Levis and the Titans are Super Bowl champions, which I'm honestly shocked by. Before this season hit, I was absolutely expecting this to be not even getting to the Super Bowl type of rebuild, and yet here we are winning. Obviously, we did have to play a little bit of our hand in that first game, but overall, Dawson coming alive with 2 touchdowns. Overall, it's a win. It doesn't matter, even if we had to come in. It was an unlikely situation, and we came in and clutched up, I suppose, but team did the rest, I suppose. You can't really blame anything else. Just one game. It is what it is. Really good regular season as well. The bye week, solid stuff. This is what the scheme ended up being. I tried to rock as much of the Titans as I could, and I ended up having to go with the KC offense, the Chargers defense. I think KC's still pretty good. It's not the most OP anymore. Mahomes doesn't even come close to winning MVP every single season anymore. He's barely even on the list half the time. But the KC playbook definitely played well for us in this one. I can't deny that. Let's take a look at these ratings. Obviously, Levis starting off as old as he was, 26 years old, still looking like the freaking I Love It music video. Great throw power. Did he not go up throw power once? I suppose there is a weird regression thing in the game where no matter how good the quarterback is, 90% of the time they lose some ratings, and I've seen some bad ones. I've seen -3 throw power before. Maybe he hit one of those. I don't know, but he's decent. Definitely got that deep accuracy up way more than when he started, but not the greatest stuff. I suppose even though Derrick Henry has definitely regressed, I'm still curious to see how good he is. Oh yeah, that speed has taken a hit. Wow. I think he starts at 93, if I'm not mistaken, out the gate. Gabe Davis, I don't really care too much about because he's always developed anytime someone gets him. And then Nick Bruce, really good player. Obviously, releases insane speed and excel. Obviously, he started with ridiculous numbers there. And then catching is really solid. So he's an amazing wide receiver. Hasn't really had the greatest success with us, but he's definitely great. And then Irving, I'm curious to see these ratings, even though we just got him. 91 short route as a rookie. Catching's off the charts. Release, though, medium and deep, very iffy. But outside of that, he's amazing. Definitely amazing. I guess we'll take a look at Skoronski. He's a 91 overall guard. Finesse blocking, pass blocking in general, outside of power, is pretty iffy. But outside of that, he's amazing. Solid player. And we obviously got him on a super long-term deal for decently cheap. Let's take a look at Okonkwo. The other guys are, CPU-generated, developed linemen, so it doesn't really matter. But Okonkwo, super fast. He's a feasible tight end. He's played really, really well. Is that 2 1,000-yard seasons, if I'm not mistaken? 3 superstar development trade linemen, which are great. Tart came alive in this one. 84 overall. 87 power move, 80 block shed. We love to see that. That's really solid. Simmons, I will admit, outside of this season, very rough. Not great seasons from him, and he's obviously very solid with 95 power move, but kind of silent in this one, if you will. Not the best I've ever seen from him. Let's take a look at Mr. Amani Hooker, who is a 91 zone coverage safety. Would love to see him get to 90 speed, but he's still really good. We have him for another 3 seasons, so that is amazing. Kenneth Murray, he was actually pretty decent for us, and he was a big piece of this defensive puzzle. Never wound up in dev, sadly, though. Chase Young, how good is he? We ended up getting him as like an 87 overall, technically, outside linebacker. He's ridiculous. He's worth the money, I suppose, especially with a season like this. In a 3-4. And if he was in a 4-3, probably puts up double digit every single time, no matter what. But in a 3-4, it is tough to get numbers. Let's take a look at Kevin Byard, I guess. How hard has he regressed? Still usable. Definitely still usable. And then the other guys, the cornerbacks. Actually, we didn't look at McDonald, did we? 81 overall, pretty good finesse. At 9, not even pretty good. Way better than I expected. 95 finesse. No block shed, obviously, but can get to the quarterback, even though he really hasn't in this one. Let's take a look at Farley, who's an 85 overall superstar, 26-year-old, still has time to develop. Not a whole lot, but probably able to get to an 88-plus overall before it's regression time. And then the final player is Mr. Alford, who started as a superstar and is a 23-year-old X-Factor. He was a massive draft pick for us. And usually we end up having some like real-life corner that we have to sign from free agency from another team, but we actually rocked with in-house and the draft, technically all in-house. Not bad. We absolutely take it. And another successful rebuild under the books. I don't know if there's going to be a team that we don't succeed with. Maybe if we do a Steelers one soon enough, because Kenny Pickett is really not going to be a guy that's easy to develop. Let's see how good he is in this one. And I've seen some X-Factor Kenny Pickett's, and they're never over 85 overall. 27 years old, 78 overall. What kind of rating, stats has he had? I will say, in fairness, outside of 2023, he has been pretty bad in this one. But, yeah, well, the first season, too. But, you need to get those thresholds of 30-plus, maybe basically 40-plus touchdowns to really get XP and dev-ups. But, yeah, I don't know which one's next, but I would predict that the Steelers one would be a non-Super Bowl one. But we'll see. Let me know in the comment section below who you'd like to see next. Like I said, in the coming days, probably community tab posts about which team should be next, with some polls, some votes, and you can, whatever the highest one is probably wins. I don't know if I'm going to have an upload tomorrow. These rebuilds do take a long time to make, and obviously you get burnt out a little bit doing the kind of same processes, even though it's different teams. I just almost went on an infinite loop of processes. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. And like I said, with that relocation franchise, sometime this week, more than likely the end of it, though. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Check out the second channel, PKR Plays, where we are starting Jedi Survivor, which is a Star Wars game, of course. And that's kind of it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. And like I said, PKR Plays for non-Madden content, basically playthrough games. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,